Bridging the Gap, Cornish Consulting, Incorporated. The purpose of this video is to advise educational institutions on the diffusion of innovations theoretical framework and how the stakeholders of early adapters and late adapters effect technology diffusion and adaptation in the discipline of Christian education. Adapters. There are two types of adapters, early adapters and late adapters. The early adapters are innovators. Innovators are willing to experience new ideas and are gatekeepers ensuring the innovation's acceptance inside the system. Early adapters. Early adapters are leaders and are more limited with the boundaries of the social system. As role models, their leadership is vital in the innovation process from start to finish. Early majority. Early majority do not have the leadership role that early adapters possess, but they do have a working relationship with members of the social system. Their decisions take more time than the innovators and early adapters. Late adapters. Late majority. The late majority are unlike the early majority. They include 1/3 of the members of the social system who wait until most of their peers adapt the innovation. Laggards. Laggards are far more skeptical about innovations and agents of change, and they have a traditionalist view. Laggards adopt the innovation after it has been successful because of their limited awareness knowledge and limited resources. Therefore, they're the last to adapt innovation and technology adaptation. Utilizing the innovators, early adapters, and early majority. As a leader, the innovators would be utilized in the innovative process by taking advantage of their venturesomeness. They are not afraid of unprofitable or unsuccessful innovations. Their complex technical knowledge will be relied on immensely in accomplishing our shared goals. The early adapter will help me as a leader by being appointed as mid-level leaders, as members will rely on their advice. They will be relegated to oversee the innovation process from start to finish. The early majority, although they do not have leadership skills, however, their leadership with the other members is vital in securing a collaborative work environment. Their deliberateness is needed for safe and orderly implementation of the new technology. Early majority types can ensure quality control of the process. Though early adopters are vital to the process, the leaders should provide resources to support the forerunners of innovation initiatives. Jesus used these early adapters in order to spread the gospel. John the Baptist was an example of an innovator. John 1:34, New King James Version. I have seen and I testify that this is God's chosen one. This verse indicates how John the Baptist was chosen by God to be Jesus' first disciple as John became a leader in the adventurous endeavor of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, while his knowledge was relied on and respected by the members of early Christianity. Working with the late majority and laggards. The late majority and laggards, though late to the game, if you will, are still important to the adaptation of technology and innovation process. Late majority types make sure that an innovation works before they adopt it. Therefore, the late adapters would be used to motivate and encourage the early adapters in leading and convincing their late colleagues of the necessity of the process of adopting new technology. Late adapters should be motivated by the fact that innovation adaptation will be consequential for catching up to the widening skills gap in all disciplines, and thus late adapters must conform to new technologies. Jesus worked with the late adapters by accepting who they were, but he used their disbelief and laggardness in the resurrection by showing them that God's will of fulfilling the gospel has come to fruition. For example, Thomas, a disciple who was not with the other disciples when Jesus appeared, was made a true believer when Jesus told him to stop doubting. Jesus instructed Thomas to view his hands, place his finger in his side, and to stop doubting. Thomas's outlook was cynical and fatalistic, but he too adopted and believed that Jesus had returned. John 20:29, New King James Version. Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Christ's model. It is important to lead a system in a way that models Christ because his leadership style was a model of courage, gentleness, generosity, truthfulness, and forgiveness. As Christians, we must meditate on the reasons we believe and what our mission is: to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. John 14:6, New King James Version. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Whether leading the implementation of an innovative system or advising and consulting others, we are disciples of Christ. Whether we are early adapters or late adapters, we must believe and adopt Jesus Christ's model of leadership. References: